protect that investment. You know, if we can leave litter on that soil surface, we're providing them with a lot more moisture. We're providing the microbes with food, you know, with everything that they need to continue to replicate and to function. Residue on the soil obviously helps buffer against heat. Again, this was taken in August, and you'll take a look at, you know, on the ground that we had more residue, the soil temperature was 87 degrees. On the ground that was exposed, the soil temperature was 107 degrees, okay, in the same part of the county. Okay, this is what happens as soil temperatures increase. At 140 degrees, a lot of those soil bacteria that are close to the surface will die, okay? At 130 degrees, we get about 100% moisture loss through evaporation and transpiration. At 100 degrees, 15% moisture is used for growth, but 85% of it is lost, again, through evaporation and transpiration. At a soil temperature of 70 degrees, 90% of that moisture is available for use in growth, plant growth. Okay, just an example of value, nutritive value that we can retain even through the winter in some of our crops if we have a high level of soil microbial activity, okay? And that's what it's dependent upon. But you can see here that these cattle were doing very well, grazing what most people would say is worthless. But it had 9% crude protein, 50% to better TDN, okay, that these cattle were utilizing. Again, grazing hairy vetch in the winter, and again, in a high microbial soil, you can see the nutritive value there, very, very good. Radishes, the nutritive value there, both above and below the ground. You know, and you know, radishes, or these grazing radishes, actually are really, really nice addition to a lot of our grazing situations just because of what they can provide to us. Okay, we've used a lot of high stock density grazing to be able to build our soil organic matter and so forth, and that's what we've done. You know, after all, that's how nature built all that topsoil to begin with, and what we're talking about here is stock densities of 100,000 pounds per acre or greater for short duration, very rapid, frequent moves. We use a lot of temporary fencing. These are just some examples of doing that, and you can see the stock density. This is 1,000,000 pounds per acre, okay? 1,000,000 pounds per acre stock density, but you would only leave them on there for an hour or less before you make a move, okay? This is when they just turned in. This is an hour later, okay? Again, at 1,000,000 pounds per acre. Okay, moving the mob to new grazing. Again, examples of, and this was in June, when we leave some ground litter, our soil temp is 77. When we have more exposed surface, it's 91. Okay, this is an example of root growth and root mass where we have greater organic matter and we have a higher soil microbial population. You can see root length and root mass is significantly greater here than here in a cutaway. Okay, again, showing the same thing. This is an example of manure distribution. You know, if we can rotate our livestock more frequently, you know, we help our microbes, we help our manure distribution, our fertilization, everything. And this is what it'll look like. That's a lot of fertilizer out there, folks. You know, that's what we want to do. This is done frequently up north to help improve ground, both row crop ground and pastures, utilizing your livestock to do winter bale grazing. And this is just an example of how they do that. And these are some of the positive results that you see. And again, you know, this really helps go along with our soil microbes. Okay, so we can utilize a lot of strategies in that regard. We enhance diversity, we increase quality and productivity. I showed you this before, this data. This is wintertime, let me back up one here. You see that tree in the background, and this is summertime, okay, after using bale grazing strategies and so forth. Again, the same here, okay. Building earthworm populations, and finally, this is in a very brittle environment here, these next couple of slides, okay. Again, using the same type of strategies. This is the Las Damas Ranch, okay, located in north central Mexico, all right. Their typical year, they get about 11 inches of rainfall annually, but the last 4 years, they've gotten 10, 9, 8, and 5, okay. 5 years ago on the Las Damas Ranch, they had predominantly a monoculture of tabasa grass. Now they have a wide variety of plant species, and now they're able to run 1 cow-calf unit per 40 acres, and their neighbor's ranch is running 1 per 200 acres, okay. This is their ranch, that's their neighbor's ranch. One of the problems that they have is that their neighbors frequently cut the fence accidentally, you know, and let their cattle in on their ranch. And this is what their ranch is looking like now, okay? Again, let's go back, compared to their neighbor and what they're looking like, okay? So what is it all about? It's about building for future generations. Thank you.